Welcome! Happy Monday! How is everybody doing? Feel free to say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're joining from. And say hi to Darla. She'll completely ignore you and keep sleeping. Just kidding. My name is Jacqui Mancuso. If you're not familiar with me yet, I'm joining you from Northern Illinois. And here on Insight Timer, we talk astrology. So today's today, we're talking about what's happening this week leading up to the new moon that's happening on Thursday. And I am super excited for everything that came through today when I was making my notes. So let's see who's here with us. Hello, Sarah. Irina from Michigan, welcome. Bonnie from Cleveland. Nice to meet you, Bonnie. Sarah's also from Ohio. Lori from Southern Wisconsin. Jess from Northern California. Hello, Sophia. Hello, Greg and Nicole. Andrea, nice to see you. Christine, good morning. Adrian from Ontario, welcome. Good morning, Liz. Michelle from DC. Carrie, good morning from Pennsylvania. Hello, April from Japan, Katie from Kansas. We're having a lot of we're all spread out. I love this. Sheila, good morning. Nice to see you. I was just trying to think about what happened last week. I'm having a really hard time remembering. I just know that on Saturday, I did absolutely nothing. I literally sat on the couch the whole day. Okay, for 8 hours. And then at nighttime, my husband was like, let's go get some groceries. So I got out of the house. But man, that reset me so hardcore. I needed to sit and do absolutely nothing. And then yesterday, I was like a busybody. I was all over the place. So that felt really, really nice. And I did my best to not shame myself for literally doing nothing. I watched movies. I played games on my phone. That's something that I don't do. I haven't done that for 10 years. And I was like, you know what? I just feel like matching candies and having a fun time. It was needed. Good morning, Violet from New York. Hello, Hannah from Finland. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Patty. Nancy. Hello. Marjorie. Hello. Looking forward to this. Me too. I'm excited. Elena. Hello. Tony from upstate New York. Greg says, wow. Violet, snowed here in New York Saturday, so I used it as an excuse to do nothing. Yes. I woke up Saturday thinking that I was going to have, a productive day, because I had the house to myself, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to catch up on all this stuff that I've been meaning to do, and my body was like, no, you sit. Andrea's planning on doing that for yourself tomorrow. You know what? That could be a beautiful way to welcome in the messages that are coming for us tomorrow. Good morning, Kelly and Lucy. All right, so let's get into it. Today we have Mercury and Neptune forming a square. Tomorrow we have the Sun and Uranus forming a trine. And then on Thursday, the 11th, 1/11, we have a new moon at 20 degrees of Capricorn. So today I'm going to focus mostly on the Mercury square Neptune aspect and the Sun trine Uranus aspect. I'm going to touch on the new moon because we're going to do that on Friday, which I know is the day after the new moon, but the energy will still be very, very strong. So let's see what Greg said. Today I feel irritable and realizing I need to let go of some thinking about 2 family members' health. Greg, are you in my brain? I think you're starting to just know the astrology without researching it. Let's get into this. So today we have Mercury at 25 degrees of Sagittarius squaring Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces. This is tension between our mind, Mercury, and what's ready to be dissolved, Neptune. Both of these planets are in mutable signs. Mercury in Sagittarius is mutable fire. Neptune in Pisces is mutable water. Mutable signs are the ones that come at the end of the series, the end of the season. Mutable signs, they're like ready to let it go and move on. They've done the reflection, they've done the review, they're ready to make the changes to usher in the next beautiful beginning. So this feels like there is a thought pattern or a limiting belief that our higher self is so ready to let go of. It's just waiting for us to like get over ourselves. Our higher self is like waiting for our ego to take a step back so that we can detach from the belief system that's standing in our way. Standing in our way of having a relationship with your family, standing in our way between us and what we desire for our life. That's just hilarious, Greg, that you're already there. Violet's already there. Nicole's already there. Yeah, that's incredible. I love when the examples already line up before we even start talking. So this tension, squares happen when planets are 90 degrees away from each other. And if you think about the energy flow, energy wants to flow in a constant. So when you throw in that 90 degrees, it's like a kink, it's tension, it's something that you have to hurdle over. So today, Mercury and Neptune, this tension is between fire, Sagittarius, and water, Pisces. This feels very passionate, steamy, very intense, something with a lot of emotion tied in. And I was also getting the sense that this can appear as, like, another person might label this as having a chip on your shoulder. And I was getting the feeling that this could be tied to a belief that helped you get through a rough time in your life, that you had to believe that they were the enemy, whoever they is. There's a sense of separation here. So it's not that this belief is wrong or bad, right? I subscribe to that belief that nothing is good or bad. It may have served you in the past, where you had to believe that they were the enemy to give yourself the strength you needed to pull yourself through that situation, out of that situation. And it's like Neptune right now is kind of like this square. It's not easy. It's not like I'm just gonna let that go now. It's maybe a remembrance, maybe something is going to trigger that belief. The shadow side of Sagittarius, where Mercury is right now, shadow side of Sagittarius is linked to dogmatic energies, preachy type energies, being stuck in your truth, not really budging, not being able to see other perspectives. So this week, especially leading up to the new moon, this week might be a favorable time to check yourself, to check your attachments to what you believe. I hope that makes sense. Question your beliefs. See if, Greg, oof, this is something that I do like on the daily. The outer planet in these tension, in any aspect, the outer planet always holds the stronger influence. It has the bigger orbit. It holds the bigger resonance. So in this case, Neptune in Pisces is gonna win, essentially. Like, Neptune is the one that's going to come out on top. Neptune in Pisces wants us to dissolve what is no longer serving your highest good. So this is, I mean, I always say that, like, astrology gives us the alley-oop. It's literally like a path. Astrology gives us an aspect leading up to the new moon that's coming up. So as the moon wanes down before the new moon on Thursday, as it gets darker, this is a beautiful chance to release the grip that you have on your survival mode, to release the grip that you might have on a victim mentality, releasing the fear that drives you towards safety. Fear's a big one, guys. Fear's a big one. You can check yourself with that fear thing by asking yourself if you trust. If you surrender, do you trust? If you cannot trust the universe, there's still fear there. Fear is still present. if you can trust the universe with whatever situation, if you surrender and you say, okay, take me to my highest good, if you do have trust in the universe, then that shows that you've detached from that fear. Liz is in the same boat as Greg with your best friend's health choices. Elisa, belief that I need to have a partner to be financially secure and accepting toxic relationship dynamics because of that. That really speaks also to that North Node being in Aries right now. We're all kind of being pulled towards independence. Not saying that everyone is going to leave their relationships and, be strong, independent people. Like, it's just claiming your independence and realizing where you may have been relying on an unhealthy part of someone else. That feels very North Node in Aries. Sophia says, this weekend I became very aware I need to let go of poverty and scarcity mindsets and deep-rooted beliefs. Beautiful. Greg, what I realized this morning is that I don't trust the mental processes of these family members, but that they have their own guides, and I can trust their guides. So challenging, though, with the fear. I hear you, Greg. Sophia resonates also. So, tomorrow, we have a trine between the Sun and Uranus, which will help you see the higher possibilities. So the Sun will be at 19 degrees of Capricorn, forming a harmonious trine to Uranus at 19 degrees of Taurus. So just quick little keywords to keep you on track. The Sun illuminates, the Sun shines a light on, the Sun supercharges. Uranus is the planet of shocking and unexpected events. It's a lightning bolt energy, but Uranus is also connected to galactic wisdom. Uranus is way ahead of his time. Uranus often brings things that we might not be ready for. It's like Uranus is connected to our higher self. And Mercury is the lower expression of Uranus. Mercury is our mind. Uranus is like way ahead of that. So Uranus is the last planet to be retrograde from the retrograde season that started last summer. I haven't really talked about that too much, but we've been in this like slow down, hit the brakes, review, a very, very heavy review season since last summer. Uranus began his retrograde at the end of August, and he is about to station direct on the 27th of this month. So the Sun, forming a harmonious trine, wants to highlight something that you may have missed. I'm feeling like a piece of higher intelligence that you may have pushed aside the last time Uranus was at 19 degrees of Capricorn, which was throughout May of 2023. That's when Uranus was passing over 19 before he started his retrograde, and now he's coming back to 19. So this feels as if there was some sort of message delivered to you through a higher intelligence, and those kind of messages can come through all over the place. It doesn't have to be like an intuitive download during a meditation. Messages can come through you or come to you through other people. Someone can make a comment that you just weren't ready to accept. You can hear a lyric in a song that hits you a different way. You can see a billboard, if you have like animals that relate to certain topics in your life, maybe an animal came into your awareness. But I feel like around this time, May of 2023, feels like there was a message that was delivered to you through higher intelligence that you either weren't ready to absorb, like something was blocking it from fully coming through. Maybe something like a limiting belief. Maybe something like a survival mode belief. Or it came through and you weren't able to digest it fully. It didn't completely land. So now that Uranus retrograde is back at 19 degrees of Taurus, receiving harmonious light, support from the Sun, I feel almost like this is going to be a remembering from something that occurred sometime in May. oh yeah, I had that great idea that got buried under my responsibilities and obligations. Oh right, I wanted to try this approach instead. Now I remember there's another way that I can look at this situation. And I looked at dates because I love to get specific, and I don't know if this resonates, cool. If not, leave it. But I feel like this might be something that occurred specifically between May 9th and May 19th. And the reason why I feel like this is the date range is because the Sun and Uranus were conjunct on May 9th. So the same two planets that are forming a trine right now were sitting right on top of each other at 18 degrees of Taurus, 1 degree prior to this. And then on the 19th, we had a new moon. And this was at 27 degrees of Taurus. So it wasn't necessarily right where Uranus is, but just the trajectory of we had the Sun and Uranus dancing, and then we had the new moon, which is exactly what's happening this week. We have the Sun and Uranus dancing a little bit farther apart, but they're still supporting each other. And now we have the new moon on Thursday. So this is pristine timing for the new moon happening on 111 at 20 degrees of Capricorn. This is helping you usher in a brand new chapter based on whatever you're remembering now that you've let go of your grip towards that negative belief. So I'm just going to give you one little clue about this new moon. I'm so excited about it. The new moon is happening on Thursday, and it will be at 20 degrees of Capricorn. The nodes of the moon right now they're going to be, I believe, right at 20 degrees of Aries and Libra, which will be squaring this new moon. So this feels like a dutiful, I have to do this type energy. I have to walk away from that limiting belief. Libra energy is relationships. Have to walk away from something that's tying me to this person, and I have to walk towards my own self, putting myself first. But I feel like this will play out throughout this week. As we have today, Mercury squaring Neptune. It's time to dissolve a limiting belief so that the Sun trine Uranus can help you remember, right? You have to uncloud, clear out your mind in order for this beautiful galactic wisdom to actually come through. And I'm speaking to myself so strongly when I say that. I'm very up here. I'm in my head a lot. I'm always thinking and getting new ideas, and I'm working on allowing myself, like I did on Saturday, to just let it all go. So you can join me on Friday for a new moon recap. I haven't actually checked yet. I think the new moon is happening Thursday evening. So we're going to be here Friday morning to talk more deeply about the new moon, do a little bit of a recap. But I encourage you to trust your intuition, right? Like so many of you guys already came here today knowing there's a thought that I need to get rid of. And here, that's exactly what the astrology is talking about. So I invite you to create your own new moon intention, and then we'll recap on Friday. I love using astrology in retrospect because it makes more sense that way sometimes. And then you get to see how intuitive you really are. And I trust that will be perfect because it's already happening today, and I love that. Greg says, when I realized, oh, that's right, I already read that. Kelly, I felt an oof too, staying true to my beliefs and trying to set boundaries with my dad and his comments and advice. Thank you, BD. Yeah, I was talking about when Uranus was at 19 degrees of Taurus. That's what I meant. But if the slip was 19 degrees of Capricorn, who knows? That feels, I don't know, if you want to do a little bit of when was Uranus at 19 degrees of Capricorn? Interesting. Greg, this feels spot on. Rachel, this is 100% in line with my current situation. It's just so interesting. This is so interesting. When you live authentically, you truly vibrate to people that match you, right? Like it's just so cool that you guys are going through these exact things, and then you come here to hear my explanation of this exact thing. I just think it's beautiful. I was trying to think of a personal example about what's going on with this. I don't know. I can't think of any. So we're gonna pull some cards. I always do group readings, but they are just always chef's kiss. Third time I'm hearing this message in the past 2 days, Liz. Third time's the charm, huh? We're gonna ask first, how can we know what we need to let go of? I like that question because it's not so direct, like, what do I need to let go of? Like, how will I know what is ready to let go? So for that one, we're going to use the Moonology Messages Oracle deck, which I thought was kind of timely. Coming up on this new moon, and where it's like we're letting go of these limiting beliefs, these attachments, to help us before the new moon. Sophia, I'm doing your Astrology 101 course, by the way. I'm loving it so much. We'll share my notes when I'm done. Awesome. Thank you, Sophia. For those who don't know, I do have an Astrology 101 course here on Insight Timer. It is 13 days laying out the basics of astrology. And my intention is so that you can come to these sessions and be able to look at your chart and have an idea of how the current astrology is impacting you personally. I'm planning something for February. I'm planning some sort of live workshop to help you a little bit more at the end of February. That's what I'm going to say right now. Greg says, I just keep getting messages to trust my guides and everyone else's to do, I guess, and everyone else's too. Sophia, it's even helping understand these sessions better on a more personal level. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so feel free to send all your energy into this deck, asking how can we know what to let go of? And we'll see what comes through. As I mentioned, these are group readings, so if this is your first time here, this is how I do them. I let 3 cards fall out of the deck, and then after our 3 cards have found us, I'm going to show you the back of the cards. So you're going to see the same moony image 3 times. The image won't change. It's the card back. So I'm going to show you the 3 cards, and then I invite you to tune into your intuition and just to see if anything changes. Usually intuition is very subtle. It's very small. Like a muscle might twitch, or you might sneeze or cough, or something, you have an itch somewhere. Your energy extends to the room that you're in as well, so if something changes in your environment, I always keep my eyes, when Darla's down here with us, I always keep my eyes on her during cards, just to see if she tells me that something is different. If you feel anything different on any of the cards, that can just mean that that card has a stronger message for you. Excuse me. If you don't feel anything, your intuition is not broken. It just means that the whole reading is for you, and there's nothing that you need to extra focus on. Equal focus throughout. Chanel, where can we access your Astrology 101 course? Insight Timer? Yes. Is it in my teacher profile? I think if you go into my teacher profile, you can go into courses, and Astrology 101 is there, or you can just search it. You're very welcome. All right, guys, how can we know what to let go of? I'll show you the 3 cards. Let us know in the chat if any of them are resonating. Here we go. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat, how can we know what to let go of? I'll show them one more time, just in case. See? Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. So personally, Darla just told me, because when I held up card number 1 the second time, she turned around, and that to me is like a letting go of. You gotta look at it from the other way. So I'm working with card number 1 today. So it's 1 for Darla. Yeah, Sophia. Let's see. Bonnie 1, Michelle 3, Chanel 1, Irina 3, Carrie 2, DV 3, Kelly 2, Sophia 2, and Chills. Jennifer 2, Patty 1, Janelle 1 and 3, Sarah 3, Greg 3, Marjorie 1 and 3, Lori 3, Chantel 2 cat meows, 3 sense of calm. Patty number 1, I got a sensation in my heart when you held it up. Interesting. Karen 2, Nancy 2, Liz 1 and 2, Elisa 1 and 3, Mary Alice 1 and 3, Nicole 2, another Nicole 2, Leah 3 past, 2 present, 1 future. Interesting. Future, present, past. Cool. Lori, all of them. Insky 2, Shauna 3, Katie 1, my puppy jumped into my lap. It sounds like your puppy wants to help you with message 1. Adrian's working with 2. Let's see. How can we know what to let go of? Please bear with me as I look through the table of contents. The pages are sticking together. Cool. Lorraine. Did I say that right? Lorraine, working with 1 and 3. All right, guys, how can we know what to let go of? Card number 1 is the Moon's Wisdom. The message is take the lead. Sometimes you just need to stand up for yourself, and this is one of those times. The sad truth is that in your current situation, if you continue to act like an ingenu, or someone who feels like less than, there are certain people who will exploit their power or authority over you. They do this because they have their own insecurities, and they're trying to make themselves feel more powerful. So what to do? You need to take the lead here, to show the world that you are in control of yourself and whatever is happening around you. Step up and take authority. Be the boss. What do you need to do to turn this situation around in your favor? Do that. If you feel that there's nothing you can do, then you're not trying hard enough. If you can't take practical steps, work on the situation energetically instead. Do this via meditating and seeing what your higher self tells you, creating a vision board, or creatively visualizing the outcome you seek. Believe in you. Some extra little messages. You've got this. You're wiser than you know. Stop putting yourself down. Make a wise choice. Connecting with the moon can bring wisdom. That's why women in particular and some magical men have worked with the moon for millennia. So how can we know what to let go of? The thought that you are not in the lead of your own life, right? If you're in a situation, it's your life. I really love what this card talked about, how if there's no practical action that you can take, or like sometimes the physical communication with another person isn't landing because of a block that they have, and like it feels like no matter what you do, no matter how you phrase it, they're just not receiving you. I've done exactly this. I've gone into the energetic world, into a meditative state, and visualize a whole bunch of stuff, like visualize my highest self talking with their highest self, coming to a resolution. And then it's just that trust that the universe heard your intention and that it's going to take care of some things. A vision board, you don't say. We're working on that with our Embody Astrology group right now. This is speaking right to Elisa. Leah as well. Thank you, Bonnie. I don't even know how to say that word. Ingenu? Someone new at something not yet experienced. Where was that? If you continue to act like that, if you continue to act like someone who's new at something or not yet experienced. So maybe this is asking you to let go of the thought that you don't have enough experience. Let go of the belief that you need more knowledge to get what you want. Is that resonating? Leah's preparing a vision board. You have your materials at hand. I love that. Ingenue. Thank you, Bonnie. You guys know my vocab. I don't care anymore. Sophia says, Jackie, this is so on point with my relationship right now. Wow. Thank you, Rachel, for the... and TJ. Janelle, imposter syndrome? Yeah. Yeah, it can be imposter. Yes. I feel, though, like, if you have imposter syndrome, that is your higher self telling you that you're already doing the work. If you feel like an imposter, you're already doing the work, and it's just like your attitude about yourself that has to catch up. What I get from this card is it's letting go of being afraid to take the next step. Being afraid that you're not enough, or that you don't know enough, or that the other person has more power. Nicole, I said too, but this resonates. Starting the new job as a manager, and I'm thinking I'm not enough. There you go. You're wiser than you know. Let's see card number 2. But whatever resonates with you, Janelle, I'm just sharing my thoughts. It doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my opinion. Greg, the energy part is so perfect for my situation too. One has memory issues and won't remember what we talk about. The other is dead set on their perspective, so the inside work is the best option. Yes. 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 I've had so much healing during cord cuttings. This usually is what happens during cord cuttings. When I know that there's an energetic cord attaching me to another person, I bring my highest self to the meditation to meet with their highest self, and we're usually able to discuss the situation from such an expanded consciousness with so much love and compassion, and we just speak as what is, and there's not necessarily the emotions don't drive the conversation. The emotions are communicated, but it's just gorgeous. If you are feeling energetically connected to someone and you would like to do a cord cutting, on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist called Guided Meditations, and I have a cord cutting on there. So you can always just search my name. You can search Jacqui Mancuso cord cutting and it should come up. The timer for the session was at 33:33 when I said that. Yes. All right, guys, card number 2. How can we let go? How can we know what to let go of? One more thing about card number 1. Maybe it's when you take the lead. That will show you what else needs to be let go of. Awesome, Melissa. I hope this cord cutting meditation is exactly what you've been looking for. All right, card number 2. How can we know what to let go of? Full moon. Forgiveness. You need to be more forgiving of someone. Or maybe it's you that needs forgiveness. Either way, what you need to know when you draw this card is that whatever you want can come your way, but you have to move through forgiveness first. Resentment causes energetic blockages. Maybe you need to forgive a partner or a parent, and once you do, you'll magically release something that is currently blocking your way forward. The full moon is perfect for emotional releases, but it's not the only time you can do it, as all your emotions rise up to the surface. All the better for you to face up to them. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what happened is okay, but it does mean you're ready to move on. Explore these ideas in relation to whatever you're asking about, or take them as general guidance. The situation you're asking about will be healed for all once you've let go of rancor and bitterness. Rancor? R-A-N-C-O-R. There are no guarantees as to the outcome, but forgiveness will be a step in the right direction, and either way, you'll feel better. Don't get too crazy. Release resistance. It's time to move on. This is the peak of your situation. Break through dramas. Life hardly gets any crazier than it does at a supercharged full moon. Get out under the moonbeams and soak it all up. But remember to breathe through any emotional explosions. So how can you know what to let go of? You have to practice forgiveness in order to see that. You have to forgive yourself, forgive someone else, in order to know what you are attached to that's holding you back. That cord cutting meditation I just talked about can help with forgiveness of the other person. There's also a meditation on my Insight Timer profile, and it's for forgiving yourself. That meditation, it's, I think, my favorite of mine. It's called Releasing Guilt and Regret, I believe, something along those lines. And it's, forgiving yourself is like the best gift that you can give yourself. Nancy sounds about right. Bonnie, those words are synonymous. Rancor is bitterness or being resentful. Thank you. I don't remember where that went. Seriously, I just did a rain meditation about this an hour ago, Andrea. You're on point. These cards are fire today, Elisa. Yep. So let me bring it back to what we were talking about in the very beginning. How I was having this, just an intuitive, right? If this doesn't resonate, it's fine. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But I was feeling that this thought pattern that we're trying to let go of before the new moon, it was something attached to survival mode, the need to protect ourselves from someone else or from a situation or from something. It's fear-based because you need it for protection. It's like you believe that you need this belief to protect yourself from something. So if you practice forgiveness around the person who wronged you, the situation that wronged you, maybe even a choice that you made that you're having a hard time getting over, then you can let go of that limiting belief that you have to protect yourself. Because when you practice the forgiveness, it helps you sink deeper into the knowing that the universe always has your back. Nothing is ever happening to you, right? Everything always happens for you. And it could be that you had to go through a nasty situation to carry that for all these years, so that when you do forgive, it's such a release. It's such like a sigh of relief, like, oh my goodness, why was I waiting 20 years to let this go? Hello, Lucy, just arrived. Glad I've not missed it all. We have one more card from the first deck, and then we are also going to pull from a second deck, just one card. Danny says, is the rain meditation the same as raindrop therapy? I just had a patient share about the latter with me, and it made me curious. Interesting. I've never heard of either. I'm assuming rain has to do with crying. Did you just cry for an hour? Okay, this super resonates for me. Awesome. I'm just here to help. How can we know what to let go of before Thursday's new moon? We're trying to release things that are not serving our highest good anymore. But how can we know what it is we need to let go of? Card number 3 is from the Exalted Moon, and it's self-regulation. And now, I know that the moon is going to be in Capricorn, but we have that Uranus in Taurus, and here's the bull. with that rainbow from the sun, and look at that angle. It looks like a 120-degree angle shining right on Uranus in Taurus. That's awesome. Nicole says, I know there is a drip therapy where drops of oil get released onto the forehead. Yeah, that's like an essential oil thing, right? That sounds beautiful. All right, how can we know what to let go of? Self-regulation. In the situation you're asking about, your superpower is that you can regulate your emotions. That doesn't mean suppress them. It means you can feel all your feelings and process them and let them move through you. You can just be. This gives you power. Remember, as within, so without. In other words, when you're filled with tumultuous inner emotions, your external life is likely to reflect that. However, pulling this card suggests that no matter what you've been going through, being at peace with your feelings is the key to success. Even if your feelings are intense, breathe through them so they don't cause outward turbulence. That is your magic. Think of yourself as a sorceress or sorcerer and stay centered now. For best results, bring compassion, empathy, and unconditional love to your current situation. You have all that you need to sort this situation out. In fact, you may even have the upper hand. However, you need to use that advantage wisely. You may need to take the emotional lead. Be a good example for others. Wow. Keep your feet on the ground. Ask what would nourish me in this situation. Emotional honesty is called for. Allow someone else to express their emotions. Slow and steady wins the race. In astrology, the moon is all about feelings and is said to be exalted or in great shape in the sign of Taurus. So much. Letting your emotions flow through you can help you know what to let go of, right? What emotion you've been hanging on to for whatever reason. Why do we hang on to emotions? Because we're afraid to let them go. Because we feel like they're keeping us safe. What I keep getting from this card is to recommend doing... Hold on. Let me back that up a little bit. Whatever situation you're trying to move through right now, have you identified how it's making you feel? Have you named your feelings? Some people, the name is great. For us mental people, naming it is great. I am feeling discontent. I am feeling frustration. I am feeling annoyance, right? Or if you're a more intuitive, flowy type person, can you describe the emotion? The emotion I'm feeling feels like fire in my belly. It feels like a stabbing sensation in the center of my head. By not defining, it's like you take control over the emotion when you're able to name it, when you're able to point it out, when you're able to say, oh, this is separate from me, right? Your emotions are not you. Your emotions are meant to pass through you. So just by moving it out of the body, by naming it, by describing it, by saying like, I see you emotion, it helps you to self-regulate. Then, if it feels right, once you identify the emotion, you can take that into a bit of shadow work. Oh my gosh, I really do need to work on this shadow work course. I'm in the process of making a shadow work course. Been dragging my feet, but I just keep getting messages that I need to do that. After you have identified the emotion, then you can set yourself up to feel the emotion. I've done a thing called a deep emotion release, where you literally set your space with music and words, and you write stuff down, and you let yourself feel all of it. You cry, you laugh, you scream, you hit a pillow, right? Keep yourself safe. but allow yourself to express it. And then once it's out, oh my gosh, it's just great. Then it's not there to get triggered every time something reminds your energetic body, your emotional body, of what is stored in there. Boom, nailed it. Oh, I love that. Let's see. Lots of comments here. Elena, recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. That's the rain meditation. Thank you. Marjorie received a rainbow card last week. To me, it resonates with my spiritual path. All of the chakra colors. Love it. Okay, Andrea, that your rain meditation was by Tara Brock here on IT. Taurus groundedness is at the end of the rainbow. Yes. Nancy almost picked 3. It resonates as well as 2. Graham, this is really hitting it on the nose with a hammer. I've been going through things mentally on if I had all I need and leading myself and my family through it. I'm a Taurus. Yeah, me too, Graham. Lori said nailed it. Sheila, it's hard to find one word or even more words to it since there's so much going on. When that happens, that's when I like to pull out my journal, because it helps get it out of here and it's somewhere concrete so you can like organize it better. So it's not as like noisy and just bouncing back and forth. I heard you. I'm going to write this down. Label it, Carrie. Thank you for that word. Greg, expression facilitates release. 100%. Nicole, my mom passed in 2010, and on the way back home, I saw a double rainbow above the clouds on the plane. I always ask her to send me rainbows. That's super special. Graham, at times it gets hard to balance when it's grief, especially from loss. Feel it. Feel it to heal it. Feel it to heal it. Your emotions are your friends. I forgot where this came from, but a couple months ago, I had a little like download that oh shoot, it's leaving, it's coming back. Emotions are like your higher intelligence. Emotions are your spirit guides. That's what it came down to. Your emotions are your spirit guides. They're here to show you something, to move you down a certain path. When you feel it, you get like the next step, right? When you shove it down, you keep yourself where you are. When you feel it, it lets you move on. Lori, thank you so much for your donation. DV, I'm journaling like mad. This third card brought up so much. Shauna, but what you've been working on resonates. Elena. Sheila, that's what you're going to do after this session. Lovely. So how can we know what to let go of? First, you have to take the lead. And I think it's interesting that this third card brought that up as well. Taking the emotional lead, leading by example. You know, that's done a lot of work in my marriage. Instead of me preaching to him what he needs to do, how he needs to change, how he needs to be a better blah, blah, blah for me, I just took the lead and I started doing my own work. And it shows. I don't have to use my voice to explain to him how much I've grown. He sees it because it's actually happening. And then that lets them get curious about, well, how are they so much more relaxed? Right? Why does she get to be happy 100% of the time, even when I'm not? Like, what is this? So take the lead on your own emotions and let yourself be the example. And there's got to be some forgiveness this week, whether it's for a past situation, whether it's for yourself. Forgiving yourself is huge. And that first comes with owning what you've done. Because we're all humans. We all make mistakes. This is a school. Right? This earth is a school. We're supposed to make mistakes. You didn't get straight A's 100% of the time, right? Sometimes you didn't study all the way. We have one more card from one more deck. DV, I have an iPhone, so donate on your page. Thank you so much, DV. I appreciate that. Carrie, yeah, lead by example. Danny, wow, just wow on all 3. So that first little card pull was about what to let go of with Neptune and Mercury squaring, dissolving a belief, dissolving a thought pattern. Then tomorrow, the Sun and Uranus are going to form a trine, maybe helping us remember something or complete the download from May of 2023. Maybe it's like that download's been in process and it was paused because we disconnected from our server and it's going to come back online tomorrow. And I wanted just to ask the Divine Masters Oracle, who's trying to send us a message? That felt right. Who is trying to send us a message? So, please feel free to send your energy into our second deck. And let's see who's been trying since May to get their message through to us. And maybe this will give us some input on what they're trying to tell us as well. If you have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they are always appreciated. You can also support me by following me on Insight Timer. You can also get those updates when I post new sessions. You can support me by following my YouTube channel, which you can get to through my Insight Timer teacher profile, where my link tree is. My link tree has all of my links, all my socials, Facebook and TikTok. You can follow me there. Interacting with my internet stuff helps the algorithm so that other people can get this message, spread the message out there. Wow, a lot of people are trying to give us a message. Who's trying to send us a message? Let's see, there we go. Cool. Cool. Am I being a bad reader because I'm emotionally reacting to this? Carrier cards are flying. These messages are just as much for me as they are for you guys, so I get to get excited. Ah, I love you too, Greg. Bruh. Alright, who's trying to send us a message that hasn't come through yet? The Lemurians. Clairvoyance activated. Psychic awareness, sensitivity, trust your intuition. Lemuria was a civilization in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in ancient times. The inhabitants of this sacred land lived in complete harmony with nature and had a connection with every living being. Their inner vision was fully activated to the point where their pineal gland was fully developed and they could see for hundreds of miles in every direction in a similar way to the sonar of dolphins and whales. This card represents the highly attuned beings of the Lemuria civilization, who knew that their land would come to a cataclysmic end because many of their people were abusing their power and awareness. These beings are dedicated to all those who want to serve the earth and develop spiritually by harnessing the gifts that they have come in with. Your psychic gifts and talents are being activated at this time. Trust what you see, hear, feel, and know, for whatever you are picking up is absolutely correct. Your sensitivity is so heightened that you will be able to evaluate people's characteristics quickly, read between the lines, and see things before they happen. Know that this ability will get stronger and stronger as you use your psychic gifts to know and heal. There's a good chance that in the past, your sensitivity was overwhelming because you didn't understand it or how to direct it. But now you are blooming like a beautiful flower, becoming the light that you were born to be. You have prepared yourself for this moment. Lifetimes upon lifetimes of incarnations have led you to where you are now. Through embracing your uniqueness, you can help many others embrace theirs. This is not a time to fit in or conform. This is the moment you let the world know who you are. Divine. I don't know if you guys noticed when I was reading about you're a beautiful blooming flower, Darla released her arms out like she was blooming. I love this. Alright, so the Lemurians have been trying to send you a message, but if you've been living in the mind, If you've been living in fear, if you've been living in survival mode, protection, I have to keep myself safe, the message won't come through as strongly, right? It'll come through, but the more you're able to detach from fear, your vibration rises and you're able to match them more closely. More wisdom comes through. I also thought that this was eerily similar to what's happening nowadays, how they knew that their land would come to a cataclysmic end because people were abusing their power and awareness. Which I believe is exactly what's happening right now. And I do like to call myself an apocalyptimist. I know that everything in our world is going to be very, very different. In a few years, even. I can plug another YouTube video. I did a talk over the summer, and I recorded it for a festival. It's called The Beginning of the End, all with smiles, and it's talking about how all the outer planets are shifting from now to 2026. Big shifts, big momentous movements. We're like in the thick of it. At the end of 2024 is when Pluto fully moves into Aquarius. That's the biggest one. That's like, oh my gosh, we're in the beginning of the end. But like, the old systems have to crumble. It's going to be different, right? Like, things are gonna be different, and that's okay. Because the Lemurians are here to help us know what's next. This is also, I love when we get the same card that's on the box. This tells me that it's Kyle Gray's favorite card of this deck. That's why it's on the box cover. The Lemurian card also reminded you to trust your uniqueness, which is not a keyword I used today to describe Uranus, but Uranus is extremely unique, non-conformist. So we're asking who's trying to send us a message because of this trine between the Sun and Uranus that's happening tomorrow. Embrace your uniqueness. If you do an intuitive thing that no one else that you know does, trust it. Trust it. If you have this weird skill that, like, you know that it's gonna rain because you smell maple syrup, cool. That's your gift. Just because no one else has done it, that means it's Uranic. It's way ahead of this time. And if other people can't understand it, that's for you to take the lead to show people what you've got. Just trust it. You don't have to be like everyone else. You're not supposed to be like everyone else. Charlotte, thank you so much for your donation. And Marjorie, I appreciate you guys. Liz, sending a message to Nicole. Greg has his mind blown. Sophia, it's all coming together. Looks like an avatar. Yeah, I agree. Too cool. Charlotte just got here a couple of minutes ago. This card hits. I had a dream about needing to massage my third eye area. Interesting. I've been having some pretty cool dreams lately for like the last couple years. And, you know, like sometimes I still have regular dreams where they're like a storyline, but I've been having a lot of dreams that I have almost no remembrance of when I wake up. But while I'm in the dream, I just know that I am being flooded with like knowledge and wisdom and like ancient teachings and stuff. Like I've had classroom sessions with Pluto. It sounds weird saying it out loud, but you know what? I'm going to embrace my uniqueness because that's how my messages are coming through. They're not staying very conscious, which is okay because I trust that they're in there. And they come through when I talk about this kind of stuff. This is my outlet for it to come through. Greg, the old systems need to dissolve for the new to fully emerge. 100%. Was there something else in this card? I can't remember if it said it, but it made me want to think this. As everything crumbles, with a smile, I'm borrowing this analogy from Pam Gregory because I think it's hilarious. So when we look at the world stage, right, whatever we're seeing around us that isn't actually happening in our own life, right? So everything that's on the media, everywhere, it's all just a show. It's a show for us to learn about ourselves. However, when you're watching, she describes it as like actors in an auditorium putting on a play, and you're watching this play, and then the theater starts to fall apart, and the actors talk a little bit louder to grab your attention, and then more stuff starts to crumble, the lights start to fall, the chairs start to come apart, and the actors eventually on stage are screaming their lines to keep your attention so that you don't look around and say like, maybe I should leave this auditorium. So this is just going off on a tangent. The heavy Neptune energy, Neptune is closing his time in Pisces. Neptune is all about illusions, disillusionment, not being able to see things as they are. Pluto moving into Aquarius, technology, things like the media are going to be disrupted. I'm just urging you to remember that everything may not be as it seems. Have you heard of deep fake technology? Have you heard of, I don't even know what's coming to mind right now, but there's so many ways for the images that we're being shown to be completely distorted. The only truth that you can know is true is what's inside yourself. So it's time. It's time to forgive yourself from whatever you're holding on to so that you can come home to yourself, because that's the only true place that we have right now. And I don't mean that with any fear at all. You literally have everything that you need. Sometimes you just have to remember how to find it. Thank you so much, Tracy. I appreciate your donation. Charlotte, when do you post these sessions on YouTube? I want to watch all of today's card pulls, usually within a couple hours after I'm done. Andrea, loving today's messages. Erin, I saw eyes like that last night and could not pinpoint it, thinking maybe a tiger, but oh my god, this was it. Oh, that's so cool. Maybe tomorrow, call in the Lemurians. Today, tomorrow, just call them in. Invite them. Let them know that you're ready to receive their message. Oh, thank you, Greg. Sophia, same. I kind of wake up and just know that I need to keep dreaming and pay attention because it's important. Yeah, I've been doing the same. During the week, I have my routine. I wake up at the same time every day, but like during the weekends, my alarm goes off and then I go half back to sleep and I just enjoy whatever's coming through. It's like a half dream, but it's not a meditation. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like that's kind of what you're talking about, Sophia. Mary Alice, always spot on, but today is exponentially crystal clear. Daphne, amazing, feeling right in the middle of all the cards. Yes, Erin, eyes during a meditation. I was trying to work through some anxiety of fully letting it through, too. I feel like that's a difficult one to feel. Like, I honor that. It's easy to stuff your anxiety because you don't want to feel it, because it is so scary. But everything is always under the emotion. The answers are always under the emotion. So the emotion has to come up first and come out. The time frame for today's material is now through next Monday, right? I would say this is leading up to the new moon on Thursday. So I feel like this is, maybe I'm speaking wrong. They said no. I mean, whatever resonates with you, right? The Lemurians are always trying to contact you. Uranus is going to be at 19 degrees of Taurus for some time. My intention was to prep us for Thursday's new moon. Love it. Thank you, Adrian. You are a treasure. Karen, it's not lucid dreaming, though. I'm not controlling. I'm still just watching. But it's like fun. But I'm like, yeah. I've lucid dreamt twice, and it blew my mind. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. Thank you, Irene. I appreciate you too. Bonnie, thanks for the reminder. The card recaps for the reading, the text recaps are going to be posted in our spiritual community, which is the group that I started on Insight Timer. Bonnie helps us after every single card pull. She helps do the text updates in there. So you can get to that through my Insight Timer profile. Thank you, Samantha, for your donation. If you guys have enjoyed today's session, I always appreciate energetic exchanges in the form of donations. However, if that's not possible, please follow me on Insight Timer, comment on my YouTube videos, like them, share them, spread my name to people who you think would like to see this type of information. You can take my course on Insight Timer. Anything. It's all just an exchange. Energy in, energy out. This will be up on YouTube a little bit later today. And then on Monday, all right, so Friday we're coming back to Insight Timer to talk about the new moon. Then, a week from today, I'm doing something different on Insight Timer. I'm hosting a session. I'm teaching you guys my I am ritual. So it is a way to define the life that you desire, and it gives you tools to bring into your daily life to make this happen rapidly. So feel free to join us next Monday. This session will not be on YouTube afterwards. The I Am Ritual will not be on my YouTube channel. It will be available for a small cost, but if you want to get it for free, come hang out with me on Insight Timer next Monday and bring a pen and paper. And I should probably put that in the show notes. And it's also, if this resonates, take it. If not, forget it. If you know your human design authority, that will give you a little bit extra information in the I Am Ritual. So just take that. Same time next Monday. Yes. Stacy, sounds like hyponagogia? What's that? I don't know what that is. Melissa, what you said about emotions, so I don't know the exact line, really hit because you can't think out of emotions. You have to let the emotion flow through you first. I love that. I think that's when I was saying the truth is under the emotion. So the emotion has to come up so that the truth can come up. Sophia knows. Samantha, thank you. The throat. It's just a scratch, like a no. Oh, not quite lucid dreaming. I want to look that up. Hyponagogia. Thank you for teaching me a new thing. Yes, the truth is under the emotion. Uber the emotion typo. Interesting. I wonder what that means. The truth is uber the emotion. The truth is uber big. The emotion. I don't know. I know you meant under, but I'm just trying to play with that Freudian slip. It's mind-blowing to recognize the different types of knowing and accepting it's not all the mind's job. One last quick little thing. On my Saturday, when I was just sitting on the couch watching movies all day, I was half watching The Croods. It's that movie about cavemen, like a animated film about cavemen, and I like came into awareness like a quarter of the way through the movie, so I don't really know the whole storyline, but there's like a cave family, but then there's this like teenage cave boy who comes and he has all these cool ideas, and they keep talking about the mind. And I'm watching this movie like, why are you telling us to focus on our mind? Like, focus on the intuition. That's where all the magic is. Why have we been taught that all the answers are here? It's not. The answers are not here. This helps us process this. That's it. Is human design completely different from the astrological chart? Found out I'm a generator. It's not completely different. The human design uses astrology and the I Ching and the chakra system and the Kabbalah. So it's astrology is a part of the human design. And if you are a generator, I'm learning the human design now. I'm actually like super diving into it. I'm reading a book and stuff. Cool. Mary Alice might be one of the reasons. Could be a lot of reasons. I don't know why. I don't need to know why. I just know that I'm choosing to trust my intuition. and I am choosing to share that message with people who choose to come to my soapbox. Daphne, hope to be there. Thank you. So good to see you again this year. We'll be gladly going towards the end of the world with you by our side. Cool. My daughter-in-law's a projector. More rare. Yes. Yes. Sophia, check out the teacher. I create lines. Yeah, he has a great course on the human design here. Thank you. I used to watch his lives. He is great. Greg, Vanessa Naga here on IT had some great human design tracks. Okay, cool. Vanessa Naga and I create lines. Just an interesting person, Sophia. He and I are both 5'1s. And what I know about the 5'1 profile is that we come off as mirrors. And I've talked about this before. So, like, it's very difficult for people who are not 5'1s to actually see me. Typically, what people see in me is a reflection of you. So if you like what you see, that means you like yourself. If you don't like what you see, it means you don't like yourself. And there were just some things, just some ways about that guy that I knew because he mentioned he was a 5'1, so I was like, I gotta check myself on that. Nothing bad. Nothing's ever bad or good. Just interesting. All right, guys. Sending love to all. Namaste. I will see you guys on Friday. Happy New Moon, which is on Thursday, so please set your intentions. And that's it. I'll see you guys on Friday and then next Monday for that I Am ritual.